Hey team, good afternoon. Good afternoon. Truly hope you guys are doing well. Welcome to Finance 700, Corporate Finance. My name is Dr. Angel Rios, and I'm going to be your host for the next 8 weeks. Okay, so this is our week one. Let's give it about, let's say, about 5 more minutes. I'm expecting a quite large class for this term. Let's give it a couple more minutes, and then we're going to get started. Okay, so. Well, we're going to work today. We're waiting for the rest of the team to join us. What we're going to do today is going to be more as a twofold. Okay, so the first fold, we're going to talk a little bit about the course, the overall course. We're going to talk a little bit about the expectations, what I will be expecting from you, as well what you can expect from me throughout these 8 weeks. And then we're going to go into this week topics, okay, which is going to be review chapter 1 and chapter 2. Okay, so let's give it about 5 more minutes, team, and then we're gonna get started. Okay, but thank you so much for joining. Okay, so just to give you a quick situational awareness, this is a 100% online live session. I'm not expecting any team members that will be either in the California campus or in the Florida campus attending from their main building. Okay, so that's going to provide us with a little bit more flexibility, especially when we're working some of those in-class collaborating activities. Okay, so let's give it about 5 more minutes, team, and then we're going to get started. Okay, but thank you for joining. Okay, stand by. Okay, team, we're going to start in 1 minute. Okay, we're going to start in 1 minute. Thank you. Okay, team. Good afternoon, or good evening, depending on what is the time zone that you are right now. Welcome to Finance, not Fitness, Finance 700. Okay, so my name is Dr. Angel Rios, and I'm gonna be your host. I'm gonna be your host for for the next 8 weeks. Okay, so you and I, we're gonna walk this amazing journey that is called corporate. Corporate finance. Okay, so today is going to be a little bit different to what you will be expecting um, for the rest of the weeks. The reason being is this is our week one. Okay, so today I would like to kind of like split the class into a twofold. Okay, so the first fold is going to be talking a little bit more about expectations, what you're going to be expecting from me as an instructor, what's going to be the class about, what we'll be expecting from you. And then the other fold is going to cover the highlights for chapter 1, chapter 2, and some of the requirements for this week. Okay. Then, as subsequent weeks, we're going to go into a more deep dive of the topics from the beginning. Okay. So, what I'm doing the kind of like the introduction of the course, there's something that I would like for you to do. Okay, there is something that I would like for you to do. Okay, so on the chat, what I want you to do, okay, is I would like for you to answer these 4 questions. Okay, on the chat, I would like for you to answer these 4 questions. Okay, just wait until I go through all the questions, and then you can just answer all at once. Okay, so the first question is, what is your name? Okay, so the first question is, what is your name? Okay, when you look at the other question is from where you are dialing from. Okay, from where you are dialing from, not where you're from where you are dialing from. Okay, so the first question is, what is your name? The second question is from where you're dialing from. The third question is, what is your favorite food? Okay. The third question is, what is your favorite food? And then your fourth question is, what are your expectations in regards to this course? At the end of this course, what you want to be able to do? Okay. Now, on the fourth question, you're more than welcome to share something other than I just want to pass the class. Put it in perspective, like what? Okay, what is your end state about this course, other than it's part of the program? Okay. So, Mr. Eges, you go by Kike or Kike?
By Kike.
Kike? Okay, perfect. Perfect. Okay. I got Hispanic background, so I want to make sure that I don't mess that up and just start calling you Kike, you know? So thank you. Thank you for that. Okay. Um, and then across the room, so we have Miss Brenda, Miss Fang, Mr. Newfang, Mr. Kumar, Miss Ramet, and then we have Chris, Jaju. If you can, just please turn your cameras on, and then Okoji. Okay. So for the team members that don't have the cameras on, please, I'm going to kindly ask you just turn your cameras on. This is part of the course. Okay. Also, it allows us to just to have this conversation almost if we are sitting next to each other. Okay. So I have a couple of team members already adding their information on the chat. Thank you very much. I will kindly ask you to please let me know. I wanna know a little bit more about you, other than what I'm going to be learning from you as we continue to walk this journey. Okay. So again, there's a couple of questions. Okay. So question number 1 is, what is your name? Question number 2 is from where you are dialing from. Question number 3 is what is your favorite food? And then question number 4 is what is kind of like your answer? What is your expectations at the end of this course? Okay. Now, just to tell you a little bit about me, so my name is Angel Rios, and I've been an adjunct from Westcliff University close to 2 years now. Okay. In terms of my educational background, I started with a bachelor's degree in accounting, so I have an accounting background from the beginning as a baseline. I'm a CPA and I'm a CMA certified. Um, Throughout my history, I have from military service to I was able to work in the private and public organization. Also not within the United States, but also have the opportunity to work um, overseas, a couple of places. I was able to work in Dubai, Tokyo, South Korea, Spain, Italy, just to mention a few of Europe. Okay. Also have the chance to do a little bit of international accounting in South America, Colombia, Brazil, just to mention a few. Okay. So in terms of graduate degree, I have 2 masters. I have one in finance, and then I have another one in human resources. Okay, sometimes people ask me why you went into 2 master degree, and the reason being is because when you're looking at the 5 branches of business, which is accounting, economics, finance, marketing, and human resources, accounting, finance, and human resources, I consider, personal opinion, they are kind of like the top 3. Okay, and the reason being is when you take a look at human resources teach you the art to manage the most important resource that there is. It's not about oil, it's about humans, right? It teaches you about the human resource, right? Accounting is the language of business. We're going to be talking a lot about the integration and the overlapping of accounting and finance. I like to call that the accountant needs to be best friend forever of the financial manager for a specific reason. And it's because accounting is the language of business, right? And then we'll go into our crown jewel, which is finance, right? So I like to call finance as kind of like the movie Back to the Future, right? So you get into the DeLorean and then you go back basically to the future, right? And the reason being is because finance, and this is something that we're going to be discussing a lot over here. In finance, you take all information which is provided to you by the accountant, and based on that, through instruments that you're going to be learning throughout these upcoming 7 weeks, right? You're going to be able to project, you're going to be able to predict, but most important is you're going to be able to assess risk, and based on that, you're going to be able to make or to provide assessment and recommendation based on current events. Okay, so that's what we're going to be working throughout these next 8 weeks. Okay, I have a doctorate in business administration with a concentration in accounting. So those are all my educations. Currently, I own a CPA firm with base in San Antonio, Texas. I have close to, as of today, I have close to 165 employees that we serve the areas of San Antonio, Austin, Houston, and Laredo. Okay. One of the reasons why I like to teach is for 2 reasons. Okay. Number one, it keep my accounting and finance skills very sharp. This allows me the opportunity. It's kind of like a forcing function for me to continue to go into the books, to continue to go into the theory, and keep myself abreast on what are the things that are new in terms of evolution of accounting, business, and finance that the kind of the educational branch is kind of like thinking about. Okay. And on number two, so once you get to kind of like the doctorate level, I believe that the next step is to get the other team members to that level, right? To continue to promote education as a great instrument for you to be able to conduct critical thinking, for you to be able to assess situations, and then for you to be able to make a decision or recommend a decision in regards, of course, in this case, to specific business. Okay. In terms of my favorite food, I am of Hispanic background, so I'm gonna tell you I can eat rice and beans every day, nonstop, every day. I can eat rice and beans from breakfast, lunch, and dinner. Okay, and then what I'm expecting about from you guys about this course is for you to get better, for you to get better in the finance instruments, for you to feel comfortable using finance as a tool for you to be able to measure businesses performance, for you to be able to visualize opportunities in the market, and of course for you to be able to make decisions, right? Decisions about risk, decision about how to mitigate risk, and decisions how to continue to evolve and grow the program. Okay. Now, let's talk about the expectations. Okay. So we're on the first fold of this session. Okay. So let's talk about the expectation. Okay. So we're going to have a class every Wednesday. Okay. This class is a little bit particular because we are based on Eastern Standard Time. Okay. If there is any team member from California right now. Okay. So Mr. Kummer, so you know that it's going to be a very big difference for you in terms of the time change. Okay.
Yeah,
Um, so but so you know that we're going to be working, everything that we're going to be doing in this course is going to be on Eastern Standard Time. Okay.
right.
If you have any issues or if there is something, please come up on the net so we can work on a plan. Of course, that's going to benefit the class, the institution, and then yourself. Okay. So why I'm telling you this, okay, is to first to avoid confusion because the majority of the courses are based on Pacific time. That's number one, and then number two, so you can locate yourself in time and space. Okay. So Wednesday at 6:20 p.m. Okay, then we're gonna meet for close to 3 hours. Okay, so what's going to happen on those 3 hours? Okay, so throughout those 3 hours, we're gonna be working in multiple topics. Okay, we're gonna be talking about different topics. Topics are gonna be based on each weekly module. Okay, the way that I like to conduct my sessions is going to be like a threefold. Okay, so I like to start with quick admin messaging, provide you feedback, what I see, how we move forward, and then answer any question in regards to any of the topics from last week. Then we're going to go into discussion. Discussion is going to be, I don't want to say that this is going to be informal, but I'm looking to learn from you. Okay. So the way that I build my lectures is not a one-way conversation. I want to learn from you. I want to know what you're thinking. Okay. When we talk about corporate finance, I feel very optimistic saying that a lot of the topics that we are going to cover, you see them at one point or another, or you exercise those in one point or another. Okay, especially at your level. Okay, the only difference is that first we're going to be connecting action with names, and then we're going to be connecting process with outcome. Okay, I don't know about you, but I am, or I consider myself as a visual learner. Okay, the reason why I like to tell you that is because I like to share videos or amplifying tools and visual tools to help you get that understanding in kind of like in a different way. Okay, So we're going to be working on a lecture, we're going to work in discussion, but also we're going to have some amplifying videos information to help you to kind of like set the foundation for that a specific topic, okay? And the last fold, or the third fold, is going to be in-class activities or collaborating activities, okay? As you already know, if you took a look to the course, one of the percentage, right, one of the ratios for the course is participation, okay? So participation is extremely important, okay? Not only to be present in the class, but also for you to collaborate throughout the live session, okay? For that reason, I created different small exercises. Some of those are going to be individual. Some of those are going to be integrated in collaboration with your peers. Okay, so these were created for you to have that opportunity to participate, to share your thoughts, and for us to be able to learn from you. Okay, now let's talk about a little bit, now that we're talking about the framework of the class, let's talk about each week, how each week is going to play, okay? So this course is based on 8 weeks, okay? Just give me a thumbs up if you know that, right? It's 8 weeks, okay? Each week starts on Monday, ends on Sunday, okay? Let me say that again. Each week starts on Monday and ends on Sunday, okay? Throughout the week, okay, and throughout the course, you're going to have multiple, okay? You're going to have multiple requirements, okay? Like if you take a look at this week you have a discussion board as part of the your requirement. And then let me do a quick go into module 2. Yeah, sorry. So you have your discussion board and then of course the participation, okay? As you continue to navigate or you scroll down through the on the web page, so you're gonna see that on week 2, you're gonna have a discussion board plus your first professional assignment. So bottom line is there gonna be some weeks that you're gonna be a little bit light, that only you're gonna have the live session plus the discussion board, for example. There are going to be other weeks that you're going to be a little bit more stacked between live session, assignment, and discussion board. And there are going to be other weeks that the only thing that you're going to have is going to be the live session and either way, the professional assignment number 2 or CLA number 1 or number 2. Okay. So each week is going to be a little bit different in terms of requirements. I will kindly advise you to take a look at the different modules so you can start kind of like organizing yourself and start working on the most important resource in life, which is time, okay? Time management, okay? And there is something that I will tell you, that time management is somehow critical on this course, okay? Not because the exercises are going to be complex, but because some of these exercises, the nature of the exercises, they're going to take a little bit of your time, okay? Now, as you look at the requirement, if you have a requirement, let's say a PA 1, CLA 1, just to mention an example, those are due on Sunday, okay? They're due no later than 11:59 Eastern Standard Time, okay? Eastern Standard Time, okay? If you submit your assignment after Sunday, your assignment is late. Okay, your assignment is late. I want to make sure that you understand that because something that is important in business is time. Okay, time is money. Making suspenses are critical. Okay. My recommendation, based on what I've seen in these 2 years, Sundays get a little bit crazy on the gap, and sometimes the gap crash. Okay, so do work with your time, manage your time, to ensure that you do not miss the suspense. Okay. Now, let's talk a little bit about the project. Okay. I want to hear from you. I want to learn from you. I want to see what you have. Okay. So I can help you, so I can guide you on whatever you need in order for you to be successful. Okay. But most important, for you to feel comfortable and for you to feel confident. Okay. Why do I say that? Because all assignments, okay, all assignments are required to follow APA 7 edition. Okay. APA 7 edition. Okay. That is the current formatting dictated by the institution. Okay. This is important because you're going to be evaluated not only on the content of the course, the core of the problems, the core of the scenarios, but also on your ability to articulate the process and your findings. Okay. So again, the framework that we use for to turn in our assignments is APA 7 edition. Okay. They're going to be assignments that it will be an easy process if you mix Word document with Excel and then you just put the Excel into the Word document. So there is a format, there is a framework for that based on APA 7 edition. Okay. If you're not familiar with that, please make yourself acquainted. Okay. Make yourself acquainted on that. Okay. The other thing about turning project is, in addition to using the Westcliff University plagiarism system, as I have a system that I look at if your work use artificial intelligence. Okay. So again, I want to learn from you. I want to learn what you have. So artificial intelligence, so we're not authorized to use artificial intelligence on this course. Okay. If you use artificial intelligence, you get caught. You will be referred to the dean for further resolution. Okay. I'm being very honest and I'm being very open about that. Okay. And this is a very clear institution guidelines. Okay. So if you use artificial intelligence as an amplifying tool to help you validate some of those problems, situations, please stay away from that. Okay. Please stay away from that. Okay. When we're looking about similarities, okay, for me, a high percentage of similarity is 15%, 15, okay, something above 15%. We're going to discuss further, okay. Kike, please.
Quick question. In the last course, I have always more than 20% because of the references.
I'm going to go into that.
Because it's like,
yeah,
the assignment were very short,
yeah,
but the references were very big. It's like that will be 20% for sure.
I'm going to go into that. Thank you. That was a great introduction. So Tim, to Mr. Ege's point, between the cover page, reference, even the number on the top right of your page, all that is going to count. Okay. What I'm counting at 15% is the actual or the content of your project or your assignment. Okay. So I remove the references. I remove the inside citation, the in-paragraph citation. I just leave the core of your assignment. Okay. So, and this is to validate that. Okay. Now, I want you to have that peace of mind. Okay. Because I know some of the team members And when I was walking your journey many months ago, I have that concern too. Okay, the concern that Mr. Eges displayed. It's like, hey, I'm going to have inside, in paragraph citation, I'm going to have this, and that. Even, and this is a point of contention in which sometimes I'm happy about the system, but sometimes I'm not. Is put it this way: I have close to 15 team members on this class. Okay, it's one problem for all 15 of you. Okay, so I'm going to tell you right now that probably Mr. Eges, Miss Brenda, and Mr. Newfang, probably you guys are going to have some similarities, right? Because if you're answering the same question, well, I mean, the train of thought probably is going to be the same. Okay, so don't worry about that. Okay, don't worry about it. Okay, what I want to make sure is that your job, your assignment, your content is yours. Okay, is yours. If you are developing, that's okay. That's the reason why these classes exist. Okay, for you to continue to get better, to continue develop. Okay, but I will kind of ask you, please be honest to yourself. Okay, any questions on that? Any questions on that? Okay, but again, I don't want you to get unnecessary anxiety because your job or your assignment is 25%. But when you're looking in perspective, well, I mean, Chris and Fang basically wrote not the same thing, but it's kind of like the same idea. So that is completely normal. Okay. Now, those are the assignments. Let's talk about the discussion board. Okay. So, in order for you to get full credit of your discussion board, I need a couple things. Okay. And this is what I need, mainly three things. Okay. Number one, the primary post of your discussion board is due on Thursdays. The primary post of your discussion board is due on Thursday. Okay. In addition, I need for you to develop two additional collaborating posts. Okay. So what are collaborating posts? Those are posts that you will answer or reply to your peer, or you're going to reply to myself. Okay. So it's a total of three posts. The first one on Thursday, or no later than Thursday, basically answering the question. Okay. So once you answer the question, the other collaborating post too is providing feedback to your team members. Okay. The beauty about finance is sometimes the process is the same, but based on the result, you can get different courses of actions. Okay, so that's where the creativity comes in play. Okay, so help me. Let's work together so we can enhance this collaboration among the team. Yes, Mr. Eges.
Yes, quick question. Please call me Kike. Mr. Edwards sounds like my dad.
Okay.
And the second thing is like the first discussion works about calculating an NPV or
Yeah.
an installment on that. So the formula that we are going to write, do we put that formula on the Word, like the form? You know what I mean, the
Yeah.
formula format, or do we paste like very ugly, like PV equals to C divided by 1 plus N to the T to the N? How do we put that in the
That
Anki
is a very,
format or in the Word format?
so that is a very good question. That's a very good question. And something that I want to let you know is that in terms of specific formats for the discussion board, I am very relaxed. And let me explain that. Okay. So I'm gonna give you a couple of options. Okay, at the end of the day, what I'm interested on the discussion board is to know what you think. Okay, for you to collaborate. Okay, so you have a couple of options. Okay, now this is me. Okay, this is for my course. Okay, this is not across Westcliff University. The reason why I like to do it in my courses is because my courses are based on numbers. Okay, accounting, finance, and economics. Okay, so these are a couple options for you. Okay, you can do it on a Word document and then upload the Word document. And then when you upload it, you can say it's like, hey, this is my discussion. Okay, that's number one. Everything through Word document. Okay. Number two, you can use a mix between Excel and Word document. Okay. At least in my case, I do the exercise with you. Okay. The only difference is I like to use a mix between Excel and Word document. Okay. I use Word document and then I blast the Excel. Okay. Now, the other one is let me see how I say this. Okay. So here it is. I am okay because this course deals with numbers and formulas for you to write, to do the assignments analog. What I mean with analog is on a piece of paper, right? Or a notebook, whatever is the case, right? You write it. Now, I'm going to be
Great.
honest. I don't like to do that with my assignments, or like at least when I was a student, because I'm still learning how to, to write. My writing is from like the most I tried, the worse it gets, right? So at least for me, I try, I do all my stuff either way, computers or simulations, right? But the end state for that is if you want to go that route, okay, I need you to write clearly. I need you to take your time and just be clear and concise on what you write. Okay. You can do a mix. Okay. Like, for example, you can type your comments on a Word document, work the assignment, like the portion that deals with the formulas, and then take a picture and then paste it into the Word document. But the other thing is, you have to do the conversion from Word to PDF. If not, you will have issues uploading the content. Give me a thumbs up. Everybody understand that? Okay, so you can do that, but then it's a little more. I mean, it's not a difficult process, but you need to make sure that you do it right in order for you to upload it. Okay, so you have multiple options. My intent, team, my intent is for you to be able to have multiple tools, multiple instruments for you to participate and then accomplish the requirements. Okay. Now, I want to do a quick pause. Okay. What I want to do is I want to put you guys into breakout groups. Okay. So this is going to be one of the experience that you will see, that you will get as a part of my live session. Okay. So every live session, we're going to go into breakout rooms. Each week is going to be different. Okay. But that's going to be our collaboration. Okay. So what I want you to do is the following. Okay. So let me set up the rooms. Let me see. Here we go. So sorry, it's going to be a total of 3 rooms. Okay. Each person is going to be assigned to a team just for today. Next week is going to be different. Okay. So team number 1 is going to be Kumar, Okoye, and Yuvasi. Team number 2 is Brenda, Kike, and Jaju. Okay. Team number 3 is Arnie, Fan, and Chris. Okay. So this is what I want you to do for me. Okay. Once I put you in the breakout room, okay, I'm going to put you in the breakout room for about 7 minutes. Okay. I want you to answer 2 questions. Okay. I want you to answer 2 questions. Okay. I want you to answer what is finance, plain finance. Okay. And I want you to answer corporate finance. what is finance and what is corporate finance, okay? Inside corporate finance, I want you to answer this for me. So once you figure out what is corporate finance, I want you to answer why corporate finance is critical in today's business. Why corporate finance is critical in today's business. Okay, everybody with me? Okay, so I'm gonna give you about 7 minutes, okay? Collaborate, come up with a JSON answer, meaning that one answer that you guys can collaborate, okay? It's okay for me to hear from one person, but I would prefer divide and conquer, okay? So divide your answers. I would like to hear from everybody as much as possible, okay? Any questions on it? Okay, rooms are open. You can join your room and begin discussion, okay? Okay, team, welcome back. Welcome back. Welcome. Let's give it about 30 more seconds and then we're gonna get started, okay? Welcome. Okay, about 20 more seconds and then we're gonna get started, okay? So, for the team, this is a 700 level course. This is a course for your doctorate. Yes?
Yes,
Okay.
for DBA, yes.
Okay, perfect. So that's great. That is great. So that means hopefully in a couple of years, well, I mean, I consider you kind of like my colleague now because you already walk on that level, right? All you need is just to continue walking, and just get to your dissertation. But that's good. That's good. Okay, so let's go sequential. Okay, let's start with team number one, follow team 2, 3, and then well, it's only 3 teams. Okay, now remember, team. So for this session, I will kindly ask you just please keep your cameras on. Okay, if there is a situation and circumstances, I completely understand, but please keep your cameras on as much as possible. Okay, now let's go with team number one. Okay, so team number one is Kumar, Okoji, and Ramit. Please take it away. What are your thoughts?
Yes. So as a group, we talked about the definition of the finance and the corporate finance, and why it is important for the business. The first finance is the actions of the companies, corporations, or everybody with regards to the normal citizen as well, with regards to their investment, acquisitions, the savings, and anything, the applications with regards to their money, their gatherings, their capital. So, and also this is one of the definition that we had. The corporate finance is important because we all agree that it helps business to make a strategic financial decisions, and these decisions might be with regard to capital allocation, acquisition, risk management, financial planning, budgeting, predicting, and cash flow management, pros and cons of that, and cost control. The corporate finance is especially important for the sustainability and the success of the corporations. That is what we agreed when we talked, Chidum, me, and Atul. Thank you.
I'm going to tell you, based on Ramit, and you mentioning a lot of words that got me almost singing, right? Budgeting, forecasting, projections. Those are keywords that we're going to be sprinkling a little bit of what I like to call finance pixie dust across these 8 weeks. Thank you so much. Anything else from the team? Any other team member? Okay, let's go with team number 2. Team number 2 is Brenda, Kike, and Jaju. Please go ahead.
We kind of distributed the questions amongst ourselves. I can go with the first question, which is what is finance? We've got a very short and sweet kind of definition that we aligned on, which is it is the science or the movement of money. Brenda?
Whoa, that was very short and sweet, but I like it. I like it. Please continue.
All right. The second one is understanding. Oh my God, sorry. What does it say? Understanding the financing and investment decisions and capital structure, and the importance of finance. And we determined that it is important to maximize the market value of the company in corporate finance, and also to maximize profits.
Okay, perfect. What else?
Next one is Kike.
Yeah, there is a part of the decision on finance. There is a part of how to invest the money in the right way. So in that case, you have two sides: investment on real asset or investment on financial assets. At the end, that will maximize the value for the stockholder.
Outstanding. Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you. Team number 3. I know you guys are the last ones, and there is so much definition that you can pull from just, defining finance. So, if you can just talk to the team, share the findings. There is something that we haven't discussed yet. Please go ahead.
I can go ahead. I think we can also differentiate in finance between public finance, personal finance, and corporate finance. But I agree on the rest of like the finance definition what we had. Then corporate finance, I think it's very important to say that's for like maximizing the shareholder value. And then based on the article that we were reading for this week, it was differentiated between, or there was like three key principles mentioned: the investment principle, the financing principle, and the dividend principle. And then why it's important in today's business. Also maximizing shareholder value, ensuring financial efficiency, and then about also like risk management. I think it's important to understand what could be like a risk, inflation, interest rates, to understand that whole thing, and then based on that balance like ownership management interests.
Outstanding. Very, very good. Very, very good. Anything else that you want to share? Okay. So before we go on our first break, so we can continue our conversation, okay? I want you just to drop everything that you have, okay? Just listen to what I'm about to tell you, okay? I need you to come close because this is a secret. This is a secret, so I don't want to shout it out, okay? Mr. Kummer, I don't know what we're going to do with you because you seem that you are outside Westcliff University, but that's okay. If there is something, okay, if there is something that I want you to walk away about, not only about this class, but about finance, and the level that you are going to be performing is the following, okay? So people, agencies, organizations, they're going to pay you for something. And they're going to pay you for you to be able to analyze risk. That's it. Anybody can do the computations. We have systems that you put the number and then they give you results. But nobody, or well, I don't want to say nobody, but it's very, very minimal people that are able to take this information, add a little bit of creativity, but be able to think at the strategic level. So that is the difference between you and the level of performance that you are working right now at the doctorate and a team member that is pursuing a graduate, okay? So when you're looking in perspective, bachelor's, master's, those are, performing great. We need them. They're performing at the tactical, the operational level of, let's say, finance or accounting, right? The doctorate is strategic, okay? Is looking at how can we change policies, procedures. That's the level, okay? That's where companies, institutions, they're going to be interested in you. It's not about projecting. It's about, okay, what can we do in order for us to shift, in order for you to project, okay? What are some of those policies? What are the process that we need to be and get creative in order for us to be able to, it's kind of like a chess game, right? For us to be able to project the second, third, fourth ripple effect, okay? So with that being said, let's take a quick 10-minute break. When we come back, we're going to talk a little bit about expectations, and then we're going to sprinkle a little bit of finance topic, okay? Any questions so far on what we discussed? Okay, let's take a 10-minute break, team, okay? Thank you.
market is. I've been in recruiting for coming up to a decade in July, and I've literally
Kike, I just put you on mute because I don't know if you're going to say something that is a little bit crazy for this class.
Yeah, sorry about that. I was like looking
No, you good.
into some stuff on LinkedIn. Take it a break.
No issues. No issues on it. No issues. Okay, team, welcome back. Welcome back. Welcome. Okay. Now, for the team members that just joined us, welcome. To all that you guys are doing well. I will strongly recommend for you to take a look at the kind of like the first hour, the recording in which we talk about the expectations, right, for the course. Okay. Now, let's go into a little bit more discussion. Okay, so I want to go into a deep dive into the first two chapters for this week, okay, or for the course, right? So we're going to go into chapter 1 and then chapter 2. Okay, so chapter 1 and chapter 2 talks about this. It's more as an introductory chapters, right, into what is corporate finance. Okay, so for that, I have a couple slides that I'm going to be sharing with you guys in the announcement tab. I like to talk my live sessions. If I share like a slide, it's just to make a very specific point. But I also like to provide information so you guys can narrow your left and right limits as you study. Okay, so be on the lookout for amplifying information later tonight or tomorrow, as I put the kind of a quick summary under the announcement tab. Okay, now, so chapter 1 talks about is an introduction into corporate finance. Okay, so corporate finance in its essence is going to do one thing. Okay, it's going to look at the problem, it's going to look at the level of risk, and it's going to make an assessment. Okay, that assessment is basically if the initiative is worth it or not. Okay, if the initiative is worth it or not. Okay, there are many times in which the risk is acceptable, or there are mitigating factors that we can put in place in case there is a loss. But there are some occasions, right, in which there is a loss all around, right? So that initiative doesn't make sense. Okay, now there is something that corporate finance made the decision based on. Okay, and this is based on investments. Okay, so under corporate finance there are two types of investments. Okay, so you have real assets and then you have financial assets. Okay, I'm going to tell you when it's real assets, I want you to compare that with tangible assets that you are able to what? To see, to use, to smell, kind of like they're tangible, right? They're tangible, that you can use your senses, right? So real assets, examples of real assets are produce goods or services, right? So a cell phone, having a company that cut grass or provide landscaping services, those are real assets. Okay, the other side of the coin for corporate investment and financing decisions are what is called financial assets. Okay, so financial assets, okay, those are financial claims, okay, to income that are generated based on companies' real assets. Okay, so when we talk about financial assets, okay, financial assets are values of stocks or the value of the company. Okay, so just to give an example, let's talk about Tesla. Okay, so what will be a real asset for Tesla? What will be a real asset for Tesla? What do you think?
Technology.
Technology, I like that, right? Cars, technology, things like that, right? Okay.
The factory.
The factory, okay, perfect, right? The car, probably
Materials.
Say it again.
Materials.
Materials. Okay, I like that. Okay, now,
Differentiation in the market.
oh, well, no, that will be my. You know what? You just provide me with a greatest introduction to financial assets, right? But before we go into that, the real assets, right, for Tesla, the company, right, the cars, the sale of technology, the sale of the data, right, all that, right, is a real asset, right? It provides a revenue. Everybody with me? Elon Musk sells a car, it provides a revenue. Elon Musk sells data, provides a revenue. Elon Musk sells technology, provides a revenue, right? All that based on what? Tangible, right? Tangible, right? I don't know if you guys can see my spirit fingers, right? Tangible. Okay, now, based on that action, the company increase or decrease in value, which is to your point, Mr. Kumar, right? So based on not only what's going on in the company, but also other factors, right? The company stocks, right, increase or decrease in value, right? So that is the financial claim, right? That is the financial claim that defines financial asset, right? So based on that, right, that increase or decrease, that value that goes like a heartbeat up and down, that's where you and I, as financial managers, make decisions if it's worth it or not, if it makes sense or not for us to what? To invest on a specific company, okay? Now, well, I was about to talk about Theranos, but I'm going to leave that for next week, okay? Now, when we talk, okay, about investment decisions, okay, we talk about what? We talk about purchase a real asset, okay? Investment decisions, I'm going to buy and start a company. A company that is very good, that is notorious for doing that, is Apple. Okay, so Apple, every year there is an estimate they buy between 20 to 50 startup companies that deal with whatever type of technology, right? So when Apple buy a company, they're purchasing what? A real asset, right? They're purchasing a building, they're purchasing technology rights, things like that, right? Now, financing decisions, those are the sales of financial assets. So what are the sales of financial assets? We're talking about what? Stocks. Everybody with me on that? So remember, investment decisions is anything that is tangible, okay? Building, companies, things like that, okay? Financing decision is making a decision to see if I'm going to do what? If I'm going to buy stocks. Now, I have a question for you, okay? You ready for this? I think this is going to blow your mind. You guys remember about 2.5 years ago that Elon Musk purchased Twitter. You guys remember that? Okay, just give me a thumbs up on that. You guys remember that, right? Okay. So Elon Musk purchasing Twitter, is that one an investment decision or a financing decision, and why? I'm going to give you about a minute to think about it, okay?
So, Professor, I think it is more about a political decision. What I know, whatever I have read in the news, because Twitter banned Elon Musk, so
Well,
he wanted to buy. That is what I have read.
Setting political aspects to the side, we're talking about the financial aspect. So, talking about financial aspect, right? The purchase about Elon Musk purchasing Twitter as a company. If that was an investment decision or a financing decision. Going back to a quick summary of the definition, investment decision is the purchase of a real asset, and financing decisions are basically the sale of financial assets.
I think, oh, sure, go ahead.
You
Can I
think
go
what?
I think it was both, because I mean the purchase itself is an investment, right? So him paying, I think, over $40 billion is an investment in the first place. But the way he did it is a financing decisions, because I think he needed to use sell stocks of his own of Tesla. So he did like debt financing for the investment of Twitter. So I think it's a finance decision as well as a investment.
Okay. Okay. I wanna break down your answer a little bit more. I'm gonna put it on the back burner because I'm gonna bring that into for to break it down a little bit more. What else?
So,
Brenda, what are your
Professor.
thoughts? Oh, sorry.
Okay, sorry. Can I say? Okay. So, Professor, after when you asked that question, I was reading an article on that. It says Elon Musk contributed $21 billion in equity financing. And banks like Morgan Stanley and Bank of America provided $13 billion in debt financing. So from that perspective, it is a financing decision. Whereas from investment perspective, it is he felt potential in Twitter because of the number of users in Twitter, etc. From that perspective, it becomes investment decision for him.
Okay. Okay. Very, very good. Okay. What else? Brenda, what are your thoughts?
I want to add that I think it's also, I mean, I think from what Nidhi just said, he also saw it as an investment because even himself as a user had a lot of feedback on how the platform should function, and he started adding new revenue streams for the company, like how he created, now you can pay for a blue check, and he sort of remodeled the whole business model in a way that he thought would be more profitable.
Okay.
Professor, so sorry for disturbing. May I take only 10 minutes away to take care of my kids and come back only 10 minutes?
Okay, make sure that you keep yourself on mute, okay?
Sure.
Yeah.
I will just leave only 10 minutes and come back.
Okay.
Thank you so much.
Chris, what are your thoughts?
I think I agree with them. I think it's kind of hybrid because for the investment side, you buy the like a physical like a company and the company building and everything. I think for that it's like more like investment, but like for like financing is more like because I feel like they cannot buy the whole Twitter with like 40 billion cash. They need to kind of structure their funding. So I think in that perspective, it's more like a financial decision. Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Now, let me tell you something. Okay. Very, very good. Very, very good comments. Very, very extremely well done comments. Let me amplify a little bit with what I'm about to tell you. Okay. So the primary goal, when you put it in perspective, the primary goal of investment and financing decisions is the maximization of shareholder value. Let me say that again. Okay. We talk about investment and financing decision. Okay. This is or the main goal, their end state, right, is to maximize, right, the shareholders' potential, okay, or shareholders' value, okay? So when you put it in perspective, investment decisions, right, revolve around how Tesla can best allocate capital to maximize their value, okay? I'm talking about Tesla because, Elon Musk is the owner of Tesla, purchased Twitter, okay? And then financing decisions revolves around how to pay for investments and expenses, okay? So companies, like for example, Tesla, can use existing capital or can borrow or sell equity. Okay, did that sound familiar to you? Elon Musk, right, under Tesla, used existing capital, right, for the company. He borrowed collateral of his stocks. And then I don't want to tell you that he sell because I'm not sure, so I don't want to steer you wrong on that aspect. But based on that, is a financial decision, right? Now, I agree with you, Nietzsche, that there were other aspects, right? Political stuff like that, which I think that provide, kind of like a final push into it. But looking with an objective eye, right, from the financial perspective, it will say that is an investment, it's an investment decision. Okay. Now, why this is important? Okay, it's important because from now until not only these 8 weeks, but until basically you retire from your profession, if you decide to partake into the financial world, you're going to be dealing with something that is called budgeting decision. Okay, everything you do as a financial manager is going to be related to what? To risk. And the risk is going to drive budget. Okay, so that's the reason why we take into consideration this type of decision of investment decision or financial decision, because that is going to bring a second, third, fourth order, ripple effect into our master budgeting for the organization. Let me put it to you. Let me give an example on that. Okay. So we're talking about capital and budget decision. This is the decision to invest in either a tangible or intangible asset. Tangible, I can see it, I can smell it, I use my senses, or intangible, meaning that I know it's there, I can just touch it, right? A good example about intangible is branding, copyrights, stuff like that, okay? Like for example, give me a thumbs up if you ever drank Coca-Cola. Okay. I want you to do this exercise for me, okay? Can you bring back a memory in which you were drinking Coca-Cola and you were sad? Can you go back into your memory lane? If you drink Coca-Cola, right? It can be Diet Coke, whatever the case. Can you go back into memory lane and come up with the memory that you say, like, hey, you know what? I was drinking Coke and I was sad.
Professor, I have never tried Coke because I am a bit health freak, but I think nobody will be unhappy after drinking Coca-Cola because it has traces of caffeine. That's where the name derives Coke, like from caffeine. So caffeine generates happy hormone. So I don't think that should be the case.
That is a very good point, but the other point, Mr. Newfriend, I'm not going to give you extra points because you brought a Diet Coke to the class. But the other point to that is Coca-Cola, right, is related to happy memories. I'm going to tell you, like, every time that I'm drinking Coke is either way on a barbecue, I'm with my family, I'm enjoying a game, or I'm doing a positive activity, you know what I mean, that bring joy to myself. So an intangible asset of Coke is the branding, right? Is the happiness that is associated with Coca-Cola, right? I don't know if it happens to you, even like Ms. Niji didn't drink Coke, but at least you gotta be realistic with me. Every Christmas, when you see an advertisement from Coca-Cola and you see the polar bear, you see it's like, oh my God, that is cute. That is cute. When we all know that a polar bear can almost kill you, right? So that's the value, right? Intangible asset, right? So your job, your bread and butter on financial management is for you to be able to make those type of decisions, okay? You make a decision that you create a negative impact to your budget, to your master budget. What that means that probably people's going to get laid off. That means that probably research and development, they're going to be stalled because there is no more funding, because we have to what? We have to level the loss that we have for a bad investment. So think about the second, third order, fourth order of effect. So that's the reason why you sometimes, from time to time, you see on the news, it's like, hey, Amazon laid off 10,000 people. Chrysler, Ford, Tesla, whatever is the case, company is laying off people, right? So the action to lay off people is one of the easiest action for a financial manager to be able to balance the equity of the company. Okay, so that's what I want you to think. Okay, the extent of the effect of your decisions. Okay, now.
Professor, you were mentioning about that Christmas and Coca-Cola. This Christmas, 2024, I learned one thing about Coca-Cola's branding strategy and how much they have invested in their branding. I learned that the dress of the Santa was green long back, but it became red because of the Coca-Cola branding. I'm not sure, but it was told to me because in one of the very old books, Santa was green. So I questioned that why it is green when we see every time red. So that's what I got the response, that it is because of Coca-Cola's branding strategy. So now you can...
And you see the effect and the weight, right, of that investment or that initiative, right? Thank you for sharing that. Yeah. Now, looking at some of these financing decisions, right? You need to be able to understand what is your position, right, as a financial manager. So under a financing decision, right, shareholders are what is called equity investors, right? Because they contribute to basically equity financing, okay? So if you're not doing equity investment, financial managers, they are conducting analysis on what is called capital structure decisions, okay? So capital structure decisions is very simple. Is the analysis between liabilities, debt, and equity financing, okay? So this is where we make most of our revenues is working on capital structure decisions, okay? That's where the opt and put, just give me a thumbs up if you heard about that. You opt on investment, you put, that's where those come in play, right? And we're going to be talking about those, team. For the team members that are not familiar with that, don't worry about it. We're going to be talking about that on week 3, okay? But those are instruments that we use, right, when we're looking between potential and risk. Potential and risk, okay? Potential is equity financing. Debt is what? Is the risk, right? Now, I'm going to talk about this, but I'm just going to do a quick review because I'm pretty sure you guys are familiar, but it's the definition of a corporation, right? So we cannot continue talking about corporate financing without a mutual understanding on what is corporation, right? So, corporation is a business organization, it's a business entity, right? In which separates, well, in a legal aspect, right? Separates the owner or the founders from the institution, okay? And there are many, many types of corporation, okay? So you have government corporations, you have public companies, and then you have private corporation, okay? So Public companies, those are the publicly traded companies. And then private corporation, those are corporations just like S corporations that they remain private. Okay. Give me a thumbs up if you ever cross through Texas, if you drove through Texas. Okay. Now, I'm going to tell you a name. Give me a thumbs up if you're familiar with this. Okay. Here we go. Let me know if you're ready. I may blow your mind, but here we go. Buc-ee's. You guys heard about that? Buc-ee's, right? Okay. So Buc-ee's, if you don't know what it is, Buc-ee's is a mix between like a extra big Walmart and a gas station with like 100 fuel pumps, basically. So Buc-ee's, at the end of the day, even with billions in revenues, Buc-ee's is a private corporation. The owners, the majority owners is a family-owned business. Okay. Brenda, I'm going to tell you, the first time that I saw it, I'm guilty of charge because I took a picture with actual Buc-ee's, like the bronze statue at front. You have to do that, right? But
I didn't even take a picture because I was just speechless. I didn't know what was happening. I was just like, what is this place?
It's too
definitely
big.
a
Too big to be
staple.
true.
It's overwhelming, right? On that aspect, right? But then you have public companies, just like your Tesla, your Amazon, which are publicly traded companies that people like you and myself, we can get a piece of the pie, right, by buying stocks, right? All these, right? We also have something that is called LLC, right, which is limited liability corporations, right? All these, what they do, team, is separate you from the business. Okay. The only type of business organization that do not separate the person and the business is what is called sole proprietorship. And this is the only time that we're going to talk about this. Okay. Now, why is important to know the different types of corporation? Okay. Because as you continue to peel the onion into LLCs, into S corporations, into C corporations, one of the biggest difference, in addition to that, one of them is a company that is publicly traded, and the other is a private organization. But the other difference is the legalities and the extent of the business involvement into the company, meaning rules, regulations, laws, things like that. Okay. Now, Chapter 1 talked to us about the type of organization, which we already talked about, kind of like breeze into that, right? So you have sole proprietorship, you have partnerships, you have corporations, and then you have limited liability options. Those are the type of organizations in which provide additional guidance to specific partnerships. Okay. Let's say that Mr. Arnie, let's say that you own a bakery. Okay. Let's dream for a second. Let's say that you're a pastry chef. Okay. And then let's say that Mr. Kumar is an investor, and then Miss Brenda came with the building, right? So Miss Brenda had a building, and then you're a pastry chef, and then Mr. Kumar is the investor. Okay. On these limited liability options, okay, there are different types of options in which provide tailored adjustment, not only from the legality of the risk, but also for the revenue. Okay, what do I mean with that? Let's say you guys three are owners of a business, right? So you guys agree into a specific limited liability option. Let's say that Mr. Ernie, you're the pastry chef. If something happens, right, if Chris goes to your bakery and then Chris gets food poison and Chris decides to pursue legal action, so somebody can pay for the medical bills, Ernie, you are responsible because you are the creator responsible for the kitchen, right? Let's say the Miss Fan goes to the bakery, and then there was a pot of water, and then Miss Fan slip and fall, and then just break his clavicle, right? So Miss Brenda is going to be responsible for that because she is the owner and responsible of the building. So those are the type of specific limited liability options that allows the partnership, right, to divide risk and to divide reward. Okay, usually when we talk about risk, the higher the risk, the higher what? The higher the risk, the higher what?
Return.
The higher the return or the reward. Thank you so much, right? So in a partnership, whoever usually, right? This is also the art of the deal, have to do with it, right? But usually on a partnership, you have two set of partnership, right? The first option is an equal partnership. No, it doesn't matter what happened. Everybody share rewards. Everybody share risk at the same level, right? If there are two of a partnership, 50-50. If there is three, it's going to be equal among the team, right? Or just like I'm talking about, like specific partnership in which by decision, whoever carry the most of the risk is going to get most of the rewards, okay? Now, I got a question for you, okay? Let's say that you are a stockholder. Let's say that you are an investor, okay? Why do you invest? Why do you invest? Okay, I want you to think about it, and then I want you to put it on the chat. What motivates you to invest? I want you to put it on the chat. Okay. Something that I think liberty, okay. Something that I think everybody can agree on is that as a stockholder, one of the things that you're looking is to maximize the value of your stocks, right? Just give me a thumbs up if you agree with that, okay? I like it, influence and financial return, okay? Now, from my perspective, okay, and this is kind of like sprinkle what is on chapter 1 of the book. Chapter 1 says that stockholder wants three things, okay? Number one is, just like you guys said, maximization of wealth, right? So if I have $2 next year, I want to have 4. The following year, I want to have 6. The following year, I want to have 8, right? The second one, and it's almost like some of the team members say, freedom. Okay, but let me rephrase that a little bit. Okay, it's freedom in the shape of transforming wealth into the most desirable time for you to be able to consume. Okay.
I was the guy that put liberty because liberty is, for me is a little bit more than freedom. It's liberty to do whatever I want with my time. That is money for me. It's what I want to do, whatever to do with my time. That's liberty for me. That's money for me. That's not. It's only like that.
I like that. That almost sounds like a script for one of those advertising that basically says like, hey, if someday I'm rich, I'm not gonna say anything, but there will be signs, right? And then
I will be playing with my buddies tennis at noon and having a coffee on the billboard.
Oh, that is great. That is great. I thought that you were gonna say like, you know what? I'm gonna take the trash on a helicopter.
Nah, that's boring. I play tennis.
But that's the answer, right? Bottom line is when you're looking at the stockholders, when you're looking at investors, okay, investor wants to maximize potential, right? Maximize potential, and with that, we'll go into what are the goals of a corporation, right? So number one is profit maximization, right? I like to call that profit efficiency, okay? So develop a well-defined financial objective, okay? So this financial objective usually is embedded into the company's annual vision report, okay? So I don't know if you've seen it before, but like on every or the start of every fiscal year, usually in October, with the start of the government fiscal year, or in January, you have a lot of companies like NVIDIA, Amazon, Southwest, that they put out a projected financial report, right? You guys see that or hear that before, right? So on that financial report, you will see what is called the financial objective. And the financial objective on these financial reports are, okay, we're going to grow the value of the company by 2-3%, or we're going to surpass the projections of revenues from, let's say, FY24 by 2 or 3%, okay? But bottom line, what the company is looking to do is what? Is increase in profits, okay? As the company increase in profit, the company increase in what? In value, right? The company increase in value, what happened to the stocks? Stocks are going to
Goes
do
up,
what? Say it
goes
again.
up. It will go up. It will perform well in the stock market. The price of stock will go up.
It's going to go up, right? And if the stocks go up, what are you going to do?
I'll
What's
buy
your
that
goal to do?
stock.
You sell, right? You sell.
Oh, the shareholders. Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
if you
right.
own it, you sell it, right? And that's how you make what? That's how you make a profit. So that's the cycle, team. That is this cycle, okay? That is kind of like I don't know your age, but back in my day when I was in college, there was this great movie that is called The Lion King, that they talk about the circle of life, right? I like to call this the circle of finance, right? So that's how finance work, right? On the ability, the creativity, and the art for the companies to increase value, okay? Remember, companies, yes, they're interested in increase what? Profits. Profits are good because based on profits, you have what is called retained earnings, right? Retained earnings becomes what? Dividends. So those are good. However, what is great is increased value of the company, shares increase, and then you sell your shares. So that is what? That is a financial decision, okay? Now, looking at, let me see, let me look at my notes real quick. Okay, let's talk a little bit about the cycle, how all this happened, okay? And I'm praying that financial managers, they make decisions not based on Fox News, CNN, or Bloomberg, right? I'm hoping that financial managers make decisions on actual quantifiable data, right? So, but how all this work, okay? So let's start by the intention, right? For you to have the resources, and what I call resources is cash, right? For you to have the cash. So once you have the cash allocated, and this is where the accountant and the financial manager becomes what? Becomes best friends forever, okay? So the accountant provides the financial reports, the financial manager takes a look at the financial reports, and they say, like, hey, you know what? We have net cash, right? That is cash that is not allocated to anything. It's basically a surplus, right? So identify the cash, the financial manager start the search and look for what is called investment projects. Okay, so start looking for investment projects. These are real assets, or start looking for investment opportunities. Investment opportunities are financial assets. Yes, Mr. Kikes.
I have a question about that, about the investment opportunities. More investment opportunities about the investment decisions. How much percentage of the investment right now do you think, in your opinion, is related to inside trading, and how much will be for real trading?
Okay.
Because I feel that the inside trading right now is like 80% of the movement of money. It's not real mathematical analysis behind regression models, betas, alpha.
So let me make a parenthesis and let me talk as Angel, not as a Dr. Rios. I will say about close to 40%. I don't want to use inside trading. I want to use speculations. About
I will
40%.
say preference information, preferral information.
I mean, I would like to call it speculations.
Okay,
So,
I hear you.
For whatever reason, for the FCC, words matters. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But but at the end of the day, there are a couple of very good books that have the discussion if trading is almost like gambling. There are very, very good books about that. That's kind of like for another topic, right? But that is a very good question because it put you to think. Okay, now, and full disclosure, and for everybody, okay, trading at the New York Stock Exchange is open and it's fair. Okay, so as you continue to walk this journey, and hopefully you will, as you get your doctorate, you can release white papers about that. So, Mr. Kike, I'm going to be looking for your white paper in a couple of years about this topic.
I have I'm trying to right now. I'm following that stuff, so it's like an example. Right now, today the market was very active. Was amazing today for the buyer position. So because all the things were very low at the night, I buy some before market. I'm selling right after market. Today was beautiful for me. So, but I don't think right now that the financial analysis is on place right now. It's like it's a lot of speculation. Yesterday came out the president saying things about the farmers, the new investment that's going to be TSM, and TSM in the before market was 1% up, and I bought that and closing negative. So that's very weird. You know what I mean? Like TSM, Taiwan Semiconductor Company, they're earning a lot of money right now. Close negative. That's not so.
Or those are speculations. Those are
But
speculation.
But TSM have strong fundamentals. I'm saying that TSM have strong fundamentals and it close negative. Let me see how much goes. I play all the day with the stock, so I love it.
No, thank you. Thank you for sharing. Now, so once the financial manager have a good understanding on how much capital resources have, it goes into the analysis, right? And this is kind of the second, third, fourth order of effect, okay? The resource that I have available for me to be able to do an investment project or an investment opportunity, right? Investment project is based on real asset, tangible. Investment opportunity is based on financial asset, right? Investing on the stock, okay? Or other alternative, okay? What is the downside of that, okay? As a financial manager, you need to be extremely careful how you utilize your resources, okay? And that's where the risk plays a critical aspect, okay? Let's say that you have $1 million, right? For you to do either way investment project, buy something, let's say buy, I don't know, a property, just like Jeff Bezos did with the Washington Post real asset project, or an investment opportunity, right? Purchasing a company's bond or stocks, right? So you always gotta think, what if this opportunity does not play out, okay? What if this opportunity does not play out? What is gonna be the second, third order of effect? If there's gonna be minimum impact because we have cash flow just like Apple, for us, if there is a loss on that initiative, it's gonna be minimum impact to the programs that we already have up and running, or if we fail on this initiative, then we're going to have to shut down or stall some initiative because we're not going to have money or resources for continuous operation of the company. So that's the level of risk that you are going to be working throughout your career as a financial manager. Okay. Now, to finish, chapter one talks about a couple of things that are very, very interesting. And this is where I want you to open your toolbox and start putting instrument tools into your toolbox. And the first one is the minimum acceptable rate of return. The minimum acceptable rate of return on a specific investment, okay? So the minimum acceptable rate of return, in plain simple words, is what is the minimum that not me, but the company is able to accept as a return in perpetuity, okay? So in other words, or this also there is another phrase, right, to suggest that is the required rate of return, okay? So in order for me to partake into this initiative, I need to receive a minimum of this percentage, okay? So let me put it to you this way, okay? Let's say that Mr. Ernie have an initiative, right? And then I'm going to invest $100, okay? So in order for me to say, okay, Ernie's investment is a good investment for me, I need to be able to get for every dollar 10 cents in perpetuity. Okay, everybody with me? So that is the minimum return that you as a financial manager will say, okay, in order for us to partake into whatever initiative, this is the minimum, okay? Now, what is an acceptable, okay, by best practices in the financial world, what is an acceptable rate of return? So an acceptable rate of return is somewhere between 10 to 13%, okay? And where do I get that number from, okay? I got that number based on the trend for the Standard & Poor's 500, okay? So when you take a look at the trading, the new the S&P 500 typically yield somewhere between 8 to 11% return rate annually. So you're looking at the Standard & Poor's as a baseline, something that you can get higher, then that is a good initiative, okay? Because if not, well, you would invest in the S&P 500, okay? Now, that is chapter one. That is chapter one, okay? We got one chapter down. Let's take a quick, well, before we go into a break, does anybody have any questions? Okay, so let's do something, team. We are halfway there. So let's take a quick 10-minute break, get some water, get a coffee, and then we're gonna go into chapter 2, okay? Great discussion, team. 10-minute break, okay? Thank you.
Buenas noches, papi.
Hey, team, we're going to start in 4 minutes, okay? We're going to start in 4 minutes. Thank you. Okay, team, welcome back. Welcome. So we're gonna go into chapter number 2. Okay, so chapter number 2, we're gonna start talking about some of the tools that we use, some of the instruments that we use to help us understand where that specific initiative is in terms of risk, in terms of benefit, but in terms of maximizing the company's growth. Okay, so chapter 2 present to us the first tool or instrument that is called present value. Okay, so on chapter 2, chapter 2 cover the tools of future and present value. And the interesting part about future value or present value is that it's going to help us to understand the benefits of a specific investment in terms of annuities and perpetuities that we are going to receive, right? If that investment comes to fruition, okay? Now, I got a question. So this question is for Jaju, okay? This is the question, okay? What do you prefer? Okay, if I give you the option to select of the following, okay? What would you prefer? Do you prefer that I give you $1 million now, today? Or do you prefer that I give you $100,000 for the next 10 years? Okay, the question is for the rest of the team also, but I want to start with Judge. Okay, again,
$1 million today.
Say it again.
$1 million today.
$1 million today. Okay. Why would you say I want the $1 million? Dr. Rios, give me the $1 million today. Why?
Because we'll have to calculate the present value of all the future annual payments, which will, in most likelihood, come down to less than $1 million for 100,000 over 10 years.
Okay. Okay. So bottom line is, well, great collaboration. Thank you. Kike, what are your thoughts? What would you prefer? Do you prefer the $1 million now, or I can give you $100,000 that you can invest every year for the next 10 years?
The 100,000.
Okay, why is that?
Because you are going to have the 100,000 for perpetuity, and you could put that to I don't know, 4% rate in perpetuity.
Well, it's not perpetuity; it's for 10 years. I will give you the same.
Depends on the rates. That's mostly depends on the
Well,
rate.
it's no rate. It's no rate. Either way, I'm going to give you $1 million now, or I'm going to split the $1 million into $100,000 for every year for the next 10 years, which is $1 million.
The $1 million.
Okay. Okay. What make you change?
No, because it's only the difference between perpetuity and 10 equal payments. If you have 10 equal payments and you trade the 10 equal present value, as Chereya said, will be lower than the $1 million.
Okay, outstanding. Ms. Raman, I'm gonna go with you in a second. I just want to cover this before it goes into the flow. Okay, but what you talk, Kiki, is a very, very interesting topic, right? Which is chapter 2 also talk about that. It is the growing perpetuities and annuity, right? It's a difference, right? If I tell you it's like, hey, I'm gonna give you $1 million now, or I'm gonna give you $100,000 in perpetuity, right? So that way, I mean, of course, I mean, give me the $100,000 in perpetuity, right? And that's where the present value, right, is important, right? Even if we take something in consideration, is the value of the dollar, right? A value of the dollar today is more than a value of the dollar in 5, 10, 20 years. Okay. If you don't believe me, take a look at the price of eggs, right? So with a dollar about 20 years ago have more power, more buying power than a dollar in 2025. Okay. Ms. Ramed, are you there? Oh, I think she
Yes.
dropped.
What I was
Oh, okay.
planning to
Sorry.
say
Go
is
ahead.
that, could you hear me?
Yes. Go ahead.
Yes. So what I was planning to say that it depends on the purchasing power of the money that I have. I mean, it changed according to exchange rates and the interest rate. So if I'm a risk averse person, I do just accept the money that you give me now. But if I love taking risk and if I'm confident that I can manage risk, I can maybe just accept because interest rate might be go down less than 1, and the purchasing power of money might increase more than I expected. So it depends on, I think, my behavior and my attitude.
Okay. Outstanding. Thank you. Chapter 2, I mean, we talk about present value and future value. So chapter 2 talks about future value, right? So future value is the amount an investment, right? It's going to grow after a specific earning interest, which I think that goes into perpetuity and what Kike was talking about a couple seconds ago, right? And then, of course, present value is kind of the value today of a future cash flow. So we're looking at the power buying of the currency, a dollar today, versus in the future. Okay. Now, based on that, I have a video that I want to share with you. Okay, it's an amplifying video that shows kind of the present value of some of the things to look into it, and then we're gonna go into discussion. Okay, as you watch the video, okay, a couple things. Okay, first, as you watch the video, Zoom is not 4K, so sometimes we're gonna have issues with resolution and bandwidth, and for that, I will kindly ask you to please turn your cameras off to allow for a better bandwidth of the video, okay? Once the video is done, please come back and turn your cameras on, okay? You don't need to turn your cameras off now, not yet, but the second thing is, as you listen to the video, okay, something that I want you to take into consideration is the following, okay? And this is the question: how can you maximize your business growth? Let me say that again. How can you maximize your business growth, financial growth, through or using the net present value tool? Okay. So net present value as a tool, how can you use that to grow your business financially? Everybody with me? Okay. You can turn your cameras off now. The video is about 10 minutes. Once the video is done, we're going to go into discussion. Okay. So stand by.
We'll now learn about what is arguably the most useful concept in finance, and that's called the present value. And if you know the present value, then it's very easy to understand the net present value and the discounted cash flow and the internal rate of return, and we'll eventually learn all of those things. But the present value, what does that mean?
Hey team, so bottom line, okay? Before we continue with this video, you don't need to turn your cameras on, okay? Present value is the foundation, okay? Is the foundation on how we're going to continue to build for the next 7 weeks, okay? So if you do not understand this, or if you're having a hard time understanding this, you're going to have friction points when we start, accumulating stuff on top of this. Okay, so this is let's say that you like ramen noodles, right? So this is your stock, okay? This is the foundation, okay? And as we continue the following week, that's when you're gonna start putting stuff into your ramen, okay? But this is the foundation again, okay? Let's continue.
Present value. So let's do a little exercise. I could pay you $100 today. So let's say today I could pay you $100, or, and it's up to you, or in 1 year, I will pay you, I don't know, let's say in a year I agree to pay you $110. And my question to you, and this is a fundamental question of finance, everything will build upon this, is which one would you prefer? And this is guaranteed. I guarantee you, I'm either going to pay you $100 today, and there's no risk, even if I get hit by a truck or whatever, this is going to happen. The U.S. government, if the earth exists, we will pay you $110 in 1 year. It is guaranteed, so there's no risk here. So it's just a notion of you're definitely going to get $100 today in your hand, or you're definitely going to get $110 1 year from now. So how do you compare the two? And this is where present value comes in. What if there were a way to say, well, what is $110, a guaranteed $110 in the future? What if there were a way to say, how much is that worth today? How much is that worth in today's terms? So let's do a little thought experiment. Let's say that you could put money in let's say you could put money in the bank, and these days banks are kind of risky, but let's say you could put it in the safest bank in the world. Let's say although someone would debate, you put it in government treasuries, which are considered risk safe because risk free, because the U.S. government, the Treasury, can always indirectly print more money. We'll one day do a whole thing on the money supply, but at the end of the day, the U.S. government has the rights on the printing press, etc. It's more complicated than that, but for those purposes, we assume that a U.S. Treasury, which essentially is you're lending money to the U.S. government, that it's risk-free. So let's say that you could lend money. Let's say today I could give you $100, and that you could invest it at 5% risk-free. So you could invest it 5% risk-free. And then in a year from now, how much would that be worth? In a year, that would be worth $105 in 1 year. Actually, let me write the $110 over here. Right? So this was a good way of thinking about it. You're like, okay, instead of taking the money from Sal a year from now and getting $110, if I were to take the $100 today and put it in something risk-free, in a year I would have $105. So assuming I don't have to spend the money today, this is a better situation to be in, right? If I take the money today and risk-free invest it at 5%, I'm going to end up with $105 in a year. Instead, if you just tell me, Sal, just give me the money in a year, give me $110, you're going to end up with more money in a year, right? You're going to end up with $110. And that is actually the right way to think about it. And remember, everything, and I keep saying it over and over again, everything I'm talking about, it's critical that we're talking about risk-free. Once you introduce risk, then we have to start introducing different interest rates and probabilities, and we'll get to that eventually. But I want to just give the purest example right now. So, already you've made the decision, but we still don't know what present value was. So to some degree, when you took this $100 and you said, well, if I lend it to the government or if I lend it to a risk-free bank at 5%, in a year they'll give me $105. This $105 is a way of saying, what is the 1 year value of $100 today, right? What is a 1 year out value of $100 today? So what if we wanted to go in the other direction? If we have a certain amount of money and we want to figure out today's value, what could we do? Well, to go from here to here, what did we do? We essentially took $100. We took $100 and we multiplied by, what did we multiply by? 1 plus 5%. So that's 1.05. So to go the other way, to say how much money, if I were to grow it by 5%, would end up being $110, we'll just divide by 1.05. And then we will get the present value, and the notation is PV, we'll get the present value of $110 a year from now. So 110 year from now. Year from now. So the present value of $110 in, let's say, in 2009, it's currently 2008. I don't know what year you're watching this video in. Hopefully people will be watching this in the next millennia. But the present value of $110 in 2009, assuming right now is 2008, a year from now, is equal to $110 divided by 1.05, which is equal to, and let's take out this calculator, which is probably overkill for this problem. Let me clear everything. Okay, so I want to do 110 divided by 1.05 is equal to 104 point, let's just round, 0.76. So it equals $104.76. So the present value of $110 a year from now, if we assume that we could invest money risk-free at 5% if we were to get it today, the present value of that is, let me do it in a different color just to fight the monotony. The present value is equal to $104.76. Another way to kind of just talk about this is to get the present value of $10 a year from now, we discounted the value by a discount rate. And the discount rate is this. Right here we grew the money by, you could say, I don't know, our yield, a 5% yield, or our interest. Here we're discounting the money because we're going backwards in time. We're going from a year out to the present. And so this is our yield. To compound the amount of money we invest, we multiply the amount we invest times 1 plus the yield. Then to discount money in the future to the present, we divide it by 1 plus the discount rate. So this is a 5% discount rate. 5% discount rate to get its present value. So what does this tell us? This tells us if someone's willing to pay $110, assuming this 5%, remember this is a critical assumption. This tells us that if I tell you I'm willing to pay you $110 a year from now, and you could get 5%, so you could kind of say that 5% is your discount rate, risk-free, that you should be willing to take today's money if today I'm willing to give you more than the present value. So if this comparison were, let me clear all of this, or let me just scroll down. So let's say that 1 year, so today, 1 year. So we figured out that $110 a year from now, its present value is equal to, so the present value of that 110 is equal to $104.76. So, and that's because I used a 5% discount rate, and that's a key assumption. But what this tells you is, this is a dollar sign, I know it's hard to read. What this tells you is that if your choice was between $110 a year from now and $100 today, you should take the $110 a year from now. Why is that? Because its present value is worth more than 100. However, if I were to offer you $110 a year from now or $105 today, the $105 today would be the better choice. Because its present value, right? $105 today, you don't have to discount it. It's today. Its present value is itself. $105 today is worth more than the present value of 110, which is $104.76. Another way to think.
Okay, team, welcome back. Welcome back. So that was the review for chapter 2. Okay, talking about the present value, future value. But the most important thing, right? How interested it is, right? Be able to understand the value of money at a specific time and space. And that will change your decision and point of view depending on that specific scenario. Okay, so let's go to the question. I want to start with you, Nidhi. What are your thoughts based on the question that we put out originally? So what is the importance? Please go ahead.
So I believe that $1 million today is better than 100K over next 10 years, because ultimately after 10 years, I'll get $1 million, which if I convert it into the present value, it will be lesser than 1 million. So if I have 1 million today, I can invest it. Even if I get interest from the example in video, 5% interest, it will grow over 10 years.
Outstanding. Thank you. Thank you. Chris, what are your thoughts?
Yeah, so I agree with it is about the 100 millions. I think I definitely choose the 100 billion right now because the NPV, and as long as the interest rate is positive, it's always bigger than the get 100 million in 10 years. Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you. And then Brenda, what are your thoughts?
Yeah, I agree with them. I think, personally, because I would want to probably use the million to start a business now, which would hopefully return even more than the bank. But if you take into account the present value, yes, it makes better sense to take the million now.
Okay, outstanding, outstanding. Team, so this is the end of the boss for today. Thank you so much for your collaboration. Remember, you have the discussion board that is due. The primary post, okay, is due tomorrow, Thursday. Okay, so great timing. I'm gonna tell you, I don't know if you think like if you agree with this, but I think the way the class is scheduled is great because it allows you, right, to get to connect the dots, right, prior to the either way discussion board or prior to the upcoming assignment. Okay, A-team, is a pleasure. Feel free to reach out if you have any questions. Okay, if you feel that you are, for whatever reason, personal, professional, that you're going to miss a suspense, okay, that you're not going to complete a requirement, or that you're going to be absent for a live session, okay, come up on the net, let me know, okay, let me know. There's a big difference between being excused and being late, okay, and the beauty about business is all about communication, okay. That's the reason why one of the business branches is marketing and communication, right? So, but let me know, okay? The beauty about this is everybody's performing at a very high caliber at the doctoral level, and everybody here is conduct, okay? I understand stuff happens, but let me know, okay? Other than that, you guys have a wonderful rest of the evening. Thank you for joining, okay? You guys take care.
Professor, can I talk to you for a minute?
Yes, I'm gonna remain here for an additional about 10 minutes. If you have any questions, you're more than welcome to stay in. If not, I yield this time back to you so you can work on your discussion board. Okay, thank you.
Thank you, Professor. Good night.
Thank you, Professor.
You
Good
guys
night.
take care. Okay.
Thank you.
Nidhi, what can I do for you?
Yeah, Professor, just I wanted to apologize for being late today, probably because I work in multiple time zones. I'm in CST and I work with a client who is in MST. So I thought it was 7:20 my time. And all of a sudden I checked and it was already 6:20 my time, which was actually the class starts 5:20 my time. So there was a confusion in time zone. I will ensure.
No use on it. No use on it. But I feel your pain. I got clients from Pacific to Eastern to CST, so I'm on Central. I'm
Okay.
located in San Antonio, Texas. So
Oh, I am in
understand.
Houston, Texas.
Almost neighbors.
Yes, right.
Almost neighbors. No, but
Yeah.
no issues on it. Thank you for that.
Yeah, thank you for understanding, Professor. I
Take
I
care,
have now
okay?
marked my calendar with the class, so I don't think it will repeat again. So
No, thank you. Thank you so much. Okay. Take
yeah,
care.
thank you. Have a good one.
Bye. Mr. Kike, how can I help you? I think you're on mute.
Hey, how are you? Thank you. I want to share my screen for show you something that's a quick catch up. I was trying to present like this. So it's like, this is the solution, this is the formula, this is the present value.
Yeah.
So then I put the answer here, and then I go with the next example. This will be a good way to present it.
That is perfect.
These are the answers. Just double checking. Do you remember?
I mean, do you want me to give you the answer, or you want me to just give you feedback on the framework?
First feedback, and then the second, the answers are correct. I think so.
You're on the right path. You're on the right path.
Okay. I know that you cannot tell me right now the answer.
No, I mean, I'll provide you feedback. I'll provide you positive feedback. Something that you're gonna learn from me, is the only way that you're gonna fail with me if you don't try. If there is something that you don't get, and then for whatever reason you don't have a good grade, we're gonna have that conversation, and then you're gonna redo it again for the learning purposes, right? At this stage, the way you are right now performing, you are at the doctorate level. You already proved yourself at a master's and a bachelor's degree. This is a little more intellectual process. So if you try, I'm gonna be with you all the way to the journey. Okay, but right now everything is what I'm looking right now. You're on the right path.
Yeah, the reason that I'm asking this is will be very ridiculous for me to not get a good grade because I'm teacher assistant of finance. So that's it. This is the thing that I teach. So it will be
Oh
very
man,
bad.
you got don't put that pressure on you.
This will be very bad if I don't get if I don't get an A, shame on me.
No, that's
You know
right.
what
You're
I
gonna
mean?
be all right. You're gonna be all right.
Yeah, that's why I'm asking. I'm so tired right now. I don't want to miss points because of some silly calculation that I made or whatever reason. That's why I'm asking.
No,
And
Teresa, that's good to know. That's good to know.
that's why I feel like more pressure. I have I start this week to be TA again, so that's my point. But very silly that I don't get the number. So that's my thought process.
No, Teresa, but you're gonna be okay. You're gonna be okay.
Thank you, Professor. Have a good night.
Hey, take care, Kike.
Bye bye.
Ms. Ramet, how you doing?
Sorry?
How you doing, Ms. Ramet? Are you there?
I'm good. Yes, I'm here.
Okay. How can I help you?
Uh, DK was asking, but I think he has finished the question, I guess.
Sorry, you're breaking up. Say it again.
Okay, I'm sorry. Thank you, Professor, for the class. I'm leaving as well.
Okay. Hey, Ms. Okay.
So the class is finished now?
Yes, the class is finished. It's finished.
Yes, because I know this is 8:20. Thank you so much. I was trying to take care of my kids. Also, I'm Muslim, and this time is our Ramadan fasting time.